What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some more Fusion Cup practice. In this video, I want to talk a lot about Poliwrath because I feel like not a lot of people have been really loving on the fighters in this Fusion Cup meta, and it's understandable why. Altaria is one of the kings of this meta, and Altaria is definitely going to be a solid check to most of the fighters. You have Bronzong in there with its confusion damage, you have Charmers allowed in this cup, so there's a lot of things that really counter the fighters. However, Poliwrath I feel is very unique in its class for sure. Now that Mudshot, the fast move, is not Legacy anymore, which by the way, everyone should TM your Poliwrath's fast moves to Mudshot for this cup for sure. Now that it's not Legacy, you can get a pretty good PvP IV Poliwrath to use, and you have access to Ice Punch as well as Dynamic Punch. So this is kind of a crazy thought, but Poliwrath actually beats Altaria very easily because you can outpace it with the Ice Punches. It only takes 2 Ice Punches to beat Altaria, and you can get to those things crazy fast. And if you noticed in this opening matchup, these battles are against my friend J. Robin Stacks, by the way. If you noticed in the opening matchup, I was against the Shift Tree, and in theory, you're probably thinking, yikes, that's a horrible lead matchup. Why would you stay in that? Well, I ended up winning it and actually had a shield advantage as well. You can beat Shift Tree if you land a Dynamic Punch. So if you go for the Ice Punch bait, and then in the one shield, you're guaranteed a win there because you will not get one-shotted by Leaf Blade. Poliwrath is one of those fighting types that is very bulky as well, so you're able to tank some attacks that you would not think that you would be able to. A Leaf Blade from Shift Tree, man, everyone knows that Shift Tree's got a crazy high attack stat. You would expect that to one-shot, but no, Poliwrath can survive it, and so that was a matchup I was okay with staying in. We've got my Whiscash on this Altaria here. I'm going straight for the Blizzard. This lands is able to one-shot that Altaria. There's the Noctowl again, but my Altaria is the king flyer in this meta for sure. It's going to beat all the other flyers. So if you look at my team of 6, Bronzong, Whiscash, Shift Tree, Poliwrath, Altaria, Alolan Marowak. If you take a look at this, yes, I am weak to Noctowl. However, I just need to ensure that I get either my Bronzong or my Altaria squared up in that matchup. Everything else will work itself out. I need to be aware that I am weak to Noctowl, and Jason here is running a double flyer strat. He's running Altaria and Noctowl, so that's something I have to be very cautious of. Looks like we're in this Poliwrath versus Shift Tree matchup again. He shields the Dynamic Punch, great play on his part, but I'm thinking I might even be able to get to another Dynamic Punch here. Let's see. He switches out. I go for the Ice Punch here, which is the correct play. Ice Punch is going to hit Noctowl for super effective. Here's another reason why I love Poliwrath so much. If you use Poliwrath as a switch-in, even if they switch in one of its hardest counters like Alolan Marowak or the Charmers like Wigglytuff or Alolan Ninetales, or any of the flyers, you're going to have stuff that's going to threaten shields. You're either going to be able to draw a shield from that scenario, or you're going to be able to take off a lot of damage. And in some of the matchups, you can even flip the matchup. Like in the Bronzong matchup, if you switch in a Poliwrath and they are a little slow to switch in their Bronzong, you're going to win that matchup if you can correctly land the Dynamic Punch. So you go for the Ice Punch bait. I'm over farming there. I was trying to get to the Dragon Pulse. Barely did not have enough energy to do it. That sucked. But both Poliwrath and Whiscash are going to be decent answers to Altaria. I bring in my Whiscash because I knew it could tank a Sky Attack better than Poliwrath could. I have enough energy for a Dynamic Punch here. I am going to shield this Leaf Blade. I'm expecting that he's going to shield this Dynamic Punch. Otherwise, it would one-shot for sure. So he gets the shield. He has a very healthy Shift Tree now against my Whiscash. This is absolutely horrible. Whiscash can say goodbye. It's going to get one-shotted by Shift Tree for sure. So if you look at Jason's team here, I actually feel comfortable leaving Poliwrath in against Altaria, against Shiftry, and definitely against Probopass and against Whiscash. A lot of these matchups, if you're able to land a dynamic punch like against the Whiscash, I believe you have to land 2 dynamic punches to win that matchup, but you can win it. Probopass is an easy one-shot with Dynamic Punch. Shiftry gets one-shotted by Dynamic Punch, and Altaria, as we know, loses to the Ice Punch spam. He gets his Probopass on my Altaria, and this is a dream scenario for me. I go straight for the Dynamic Punch. I'm not going to overfarm here because I don't want to get hit by a Thunderbolt. At this point, I don't believe I knew what moveset he was running, so I did not want to risk getting hit by a Thunderbolt. He still has 2 shields. I'm QSAing on Dynamic Punch here. I'm not going for the bait. Especially when you play against top-level players. Most top-level players know like the ultimate scenario to win the outcome. They know that if you go for the bait, then you're going to win a particular matchup sometimes. So sometimes they won't shield, and I do this a lot. I'll still have 2 shields, and I know that my opponent is thinking, man, I got to get those shields off. So they're going to go for baits. So I will end up not shielding their baits sometimes, and it'll help me out in the matchup. I do lose that matchup against Shiftry because he correctly shielded my Dynamic Punch, but I have like a very healthy Altaria. Sky Attack is easily going to take this Shiftry out. I want that Shiftry gone because I do not want to get hit by a foul play. And now I have my Whiscash on a Alolan Marowak. This is a ridiculously good matchup. Whiscash is just such a strong pick in this cup for sure. Out of all the other Mud Boys, I definitely like Whiscash the best because of its Mud Bomb spam ability, its Blizzard Nuke threat, and its bulkiness is just amazing. And so far in this cup, there does not seem to be nearly as many Razor Leaf users. So back in Timeless Cup, which I still haven't had my way to Timeless Cup yet, so I'm still practicing for that. It takes place on January 5th. I was a little bit more hesitant to run the water ground types like Gastrodon or Whiscash or Quagsire just because of the prevalence of Razor Leaf users in there, but in this cup I feel way more solid running it. Altaria versus Noctowl, this is still a favorable matchup in for me, so there's no sense in me trying to switch out here. I'm assuming he was trying to QSA with the Sky Attack. Not going to shield this first one. He is able to get to another Sky Attack. Very good play on his part. I was able to sneak in a Dragon Breath, which is great. At some point, I'm expecting him to switch in a counter to Altaria because Noctowl is going to lose this matchup. I'm hoping the Probopass comes out. He mirrors with his own Altaria, but check this out. I'm down a shield, but I know that I'm going to be able to outpace this Altaria. I commit my last shield, and I'm totally fine with it. I'm over farming just a little bit because I know he dumped all of its energy. Gonna go for the Ice Punch here. Most likely gonna draw a shield. He lets it go through. This Altaria cannot tank another Ice Punch. So I'm able to back-to-back Ice Punch here. He lets that go as well. So I'm down 2 shields here. I know he still has Noctowl. And in comes that Shiftry. I'm going straight for the Ice Punch because this is still gonna do a lot of damage. He's got to commit some shields here at some point. There goes 1 shield. And he is correctly farming up with that Shiftry. Great counting on his part. 1 Leaf Blade's definitely going to take me out of this health. And now this Shiftry has loaded energy. But I have my own Shiftry to catch whatever charge moves it's going to throw at me. I'm going to resist everything it's going to throw. So I'm getting ready with the Altaria. I'm expecting him to switch out. He's going to throw a charge move here. Now I'm definitely expecting him to switch out right after he dumps the energy, but I'm able to get to this Leaf Blade. I'm trying to draw that last shield. Both of these moves are going to be resisted, but holy cow, Leaf Blade does a lot of damage. Going for another Leaf Blade. This is most likely either going to take out the Shiftry or draw the last shield. It does draw the last shield, and now he is correctly farming up the perfect amount of energy there. Wow. This Leaf Blade is most likely going to take me out. Oh, I survived barely there. He switches in his Noctowl to catch this Leaf Blade. Amazing play on his part. But even that is enough to take out a Noctowl, which is pretty crazy to think about. And I have a Sky Attack loaded in my Altaria. Thank goodness, because he was probably right on a foul play. Very close there. We might have even CMP'd Tide on that because he farmed up a lot of energy. It only takes 3 Snarls to get to a Leaf Blade and then 4 Snarls to get to a Foul Play. And because Snarl is 13 energy, I believe, you have some nice overlap. So if you're continuously throwing back-to-back charge moves, like I think it's like the 3rd or 4th Leaf Blade or 3rd or 4th Foul Play, one of those is going to be like reduced number of turns because of the residual energy that you have from the Snarl. So that's a fun thing to know. I'm against an invisible Pokemon here. These are definitely top in the meta for sure. You definitely want to run invisible Pokemon. That's going to throw your opponent off guard. Nope, it's just a visual glitch here in the game, classic. But whenever that happens, look in the top right of your screen where it says their Pokemon. Read the name, don't sit there and freak out and ask for a rematch. No, you still know what the Pokemon is. I went for Dragon Pulse on the Probopass because Sky Attack, I believe, would be double resisted because of Probopass's Rock and Steel typing. And he's rocking Magnet Bomb on his Probopass, probably for the mirror match. Normally when I run Probopass, it's with Rock Slide and Thunderbolt, and I use Spark as my fast move. So my Bronzong, I have not really brought it in too much so far. Which is interesting because he's running double Flyer. But Bronzong is going to be a great answer to... Woo! Bless me there, wow. Bronzong is going to be a great answer to the Probopass because everything that Probopass throws at you, you're going to be able to resist. Magnet Bomb is not going to do a lot of damage. I'm assuming his other move that he's using is Rock Slide. And now that I know his moveset on his Probopass, Poliwrath is even safer of an option because he doesn't have that Thunderbolt nuke anymore. Going for the Ice Punches here. I still have 2 shields. Definitely going to commit 1 here because I know I'm going to be able to rip off some more Ice Punches. Poliwrath is amazing. Every cup that he has been allowed in, I have brought him in for sure. And that was even back in the day when Mudshot was still Legacy. But if you remember in Sinister Cup, Bubble Poliwrath was absolutely amazing. It was definitely a Swiss Army knife with the charge moves that you could throw. Okay, he gets the Probopass in here, but I'm going to commit a shield here because I know... actually, I'm just going to bring in my Bronzong, but this is pretty much a good game anyways. I would have been able to get to a Dynamic Punch as well. Psyshock would be resisted on Probopass, but this Bulldoze is definitely going to take it out. Double super effective. Ground is super effective against Rock and super effective against Steel. Good things to remember there. Probopass is one of the best anti-flyers in this cup in terms of like being the hardest counter to the flyers. But I'm not super sold on whether I want to run one or not. You're double weak to ground. You're double weak to fighting. You're weak to grass, and all these things are pretty present within the meta. Especially the ground with Whiscash. Everyone's going to be rocking a Mudboy, and when you get locked in that situation, Probopass against Whiscash, you are absolutely walled. Nothing you throw is going to do hardly any damage, and they can farm up pretty much 100 energy and just sit there and eat all the damage. It's pretty insane. I get my Altaria on the Noctowl, which is a favorable matchup for me for sure. I don't feel like there's any need to be saucy here and try to go for the Dragon Pulses. I'm just going straight for the Sky Attack because my Dragon Breath damage is doing more damage than Noctowl's wing attacks are doing to me. Dragon Breath is such an amazing fast move. That's definitely why I like Altaria for this cup a whole bunch. I'm pretty sure every cup that Altaria has been allowed in as well, it's like one of the top Pokemon because it's that good. It definitely deserves to be up there. I let my Altaria go, and this is not a great scenario here. Thank goodness I had energy stored up in my Poliwrath because I'm going to be weak to the Wing Attack and the Sky Attack. His Noctowl goes down. In comes Shiftry. This is still a positive matchup for me. If I land this Dynamic Punch, this is an easy one-shot. So I bet that he thinks I'm going for the bait. The Dynamic Punch goes through. There's a scenario right there. Top-level players are going to know these matchups and know like what the win condition is. The win condition there in the one-shield matchup is that I had to land the Ice Punch bait. or just go straight for the dynamic punch, which I did there. I switch in my shift tree. I'm just trying to burn that last shield here, so I'm going for Leaf Blade, even though it's double resisted. Still does a decent amount of damage. Totally okay with that. And because of how much health left I have here, I'm going to commit my last shield. I know I'm going to be able to get to 2 Leaf Blades, and this is pretty much good game right here. This is very early in the Fusion Cup practice battles. We're just trying stuff out. Oh man, he's able to get to another Sky Attack here. This is going to be close. Does my Poliwrath have enough gas in the tank to get to this Ice Punch? Holy cow, very close there. Because of Poliwrath's bulk, I'm able to get to this Ice Punch before the Dragon Breaths take me out. That was very close. We get a little bit of lag at the end here. But that's all right. This is going to take it out. I did a live battle commentary the other day. Let me know what you guys thought about that, because I'm definitely interested in doing some more videos like that. But let me know what you think of this team. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.